Alright, in this video, I obtained the Platinum Trophy for GTA San Andreas. With GTA 6 coming out later this year, if they don't delay it... Oh, never mind. I thought I'd go back and play the OG GTAs since they got remastered for next-gen consoles and PC. My first time ever playing these GTAs as well. The GTA San Andreas Platinum is a 4 out of 10 difficulty overall with it only needing one playthrough and takes around 45 hours to complete. Yeah, right. San Andreas has a total of 35 trophies including the Platinum Trophy. There isn't just one stage, not two stages, but 4 stages to this trophy grind. Before we go further, be aware that there will be spoilers, so proceed at your own risk. Without further ado, let's get a start on the grind. Carl Johnson, or CJ, lands in Los Santos, San Andreas from Liberty City after receiving news his mum passed away from a drive-by gone wrong. CJ gets pulled over while in a taxi by dirty cops Tenpenny and Pulaski, who try to pin a murder of an officer they killed on CJ. They dump him in the Baller Street gang territory before CJ bikes home before he's greeted violently by a familiar face by the name of Big Smoke. CJ expresses his feelings to Big Smoke about his mom, and then he takes us to the burial site where CJ meets his brother Sweet and sister Kendall. After emotions flare up from grieving, I earn the first trophy of the playthrough. It's not GTA if there aren't side vehicle missions to do, is there? There are 4 in total: taxi, paramedic, fire truck, and vigilante or police. To start, I got in a taxi and started my journey to 50 fares for the trophy. But during that, I ended up hitting a pedestrian, which gained me a wanted level, and thought I'd knock out the pay and spray trophy and get my taxi repaired to get rid of my wanted level, and then I could finally continue through to my journey to 50 fares. After completing my taxi journey, getting to 50 fares to progress the 100% trophy, I decided to get a start on my fire truck journey with 12 levels of water squirting on vehicles and people. This was going to be a very hard task. With the past few GTAs only having one burning car per level, Rockstar decided to turn up the heat and add more cars to the pile. But after extinguishing 12 levels of fires, I get the trophy for my hard work and progress towards the 100% trophy. While I'm trying to go for the what are the odds trophy, cause you know, gambling, I decide to go knock out the horror of the Santa Maria trophy and drown in the ocean. Yes, there is a trophy for drowning. With this betting trophy, there's some variables to this. You can just do it straightforward and bet on a horse you think will win for whatever amount of cash, but if you want some cash to your name early on in the game and progress the Ain't Nothing But a G trophy, you max bet on the lowest odds to win horse, so if they win you get a huge payout. Because it's gambling, it took quite a few attempts to get it, but once I finally got it, it was beautiful. After going insane from luck not being on my side, I decided to go get the Today Was a Good Day trophy done, which means no harming anyone, getting hurt, or getting a wanted level. And with me already not doing any of these things heading towards the Johnson house, it meant I only needed to be inside for 16 minutes in real time, since 1 minute in game time is 1 second in real time until the trophy pops. Now it's time for the good stuff. To go get fat. I head to Cluck and Bell and purchase 8 exquisite Chef's Kiss large meals for CJ to consume. The trophy pops. Next was the Hoop It Up trophy. I need to make 30 points worth of baskets in a basketball minigame. This took a few attempts after figuring out the correct form and everything, but once I got it down, it was pretty chill from there, but I'd be lying if it still wasn't intense towards the end. Remember the big payout I got at the beginning of the game from the betting trophy? Well, it was time to make my first investment. I had to pass time to be able to access a certain story mission, and so there was a property for sale nearby, and I figured I'd just buy it to be able to save close by where the mission was and unlock the American Dream trophy. For this next trophy, Smooth Moves, you have to perform a perfect dance routine. There are numerous opportunities to do this trophy throughout the game, but the first opportunity is during a story mission where you need to steal a van to use the speakers for an album release party. But in order to get in the van, you need to dance for the DJ. I definitely don't suck at dancing and didn't fail a couple of times or anything before finally getting it done. No, I don't know what you're on about. Assassin. Just seeing the trophy name makes you want to crash out. In the mission Mad Dogs Rhymes, you're tasked by fellow gang member and rapper OG Loke to steal another rapper by the name of Mad Dog's rhyme book from his mansion, and you have to stealth kill all the guards inside. This took me so much longer than I should have to do. This trophy was marked as buggy, but I thankfully didn't encounter it. I just made dumb mistakes which made me have to restart each time. But once I finally locked the fuck in and attempted it, I finally got it and felt such a relief. Now for the last story trophy in Los Santos. All dressed up as San Fierro. Basically in this mission, CJ finds out his boys, Big Smoke and Ryder, have been secretly working for the cops this whole time, while also preparing for a gang war and keeping his brother Sweet alive while taking out a rival gang by the name of the Ballers. Then cops arrive and the trophy finally pops. With CJ being in a new city and with it being a small city which had a hospital in the area, it was a perfect opportunity to start the paramedic missions. 12 levels of picking up and dropping off dying patients. However, compared to past GTAs, the types of patients in San Andreas are now varied. Now you have this type of patient to deal with. With the added level of frustration and intensity with the paramedic side mission, the size of the town definitely played a part with it being a little easier. Once 12 levels worth of saving patients were completed, the trophy of course popped. The next trophy was the Bike or Biker trophy, which is completing either the BMX challenge or the NRG 500 challenge. I didn't have the bike skill at the time to do the BMX challenge and wasn't bothered driving all the way back to Los Santos to be honest, so I decided to do the NRG 500 challenge. Many attempts were had, weather was not on my side, but after crashing out and continuously attempting the challenge, I didn't give up and finally got it done and had the trophy pop. However, I realized something about the trophy that I'll come back to later on. During the story, a crew member CJ recruits tells him his driving sucks basically, and that he should go to a driving school to get better. So with the next trophy being schools out, I went to go do exactly that. It went okay. First try on all classes, no fails or multiple attempts on anything, nope. Went as smooth as it could go. And then the trophy popped for my flawlessness at driving. Who needs directions anyway? CJ does. To find a government agent by the name of Mike Torino. However, I took a bit of an L during this. I decided not to go to the directions my associate said he thought he was at, and decided to drive straight to the airport. I know. Boring, loser, cheater, blah blah blah. I made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment, and I don't expect to be forgiven. I apologize to absolutely nobody. We all know the classic saying, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right? Well, what about what happens in Las Venturus instead? In the mission Yaka Boom Boom, Cesar tells CJ how much of a hero he is back home, but CJ doesn't see it that way, seeing how his friends betrayed him and how he got rid of one of his friends because of it. Then CJ's business associate, Woozy, tells him his former friends own a factory nearby and that if it gets destroyed, they'll be out of business for good. So the bomb gets wired into the car and sent into the factory to blow up, and once I successfully make it out of the compound alive after definitely not dying the first time and making it home, the trophy pops. Now we're on to the gambling trophies. It is a city of gambling after all. There are 2 trophies related to gambling. One is putting a max bet on black or red and winning, and the other is winning $1,000 off a wheel spin in a single spin. However, you can't access the wheel spin until your gambling skill is up. So in order to up the skill, I had to place bets and win and whatnot. My gambling skill took forever to go up at the start because I couldn't bet a lot of money at the time, but once I bet all on red and just did trial and error, I finally got lucky and won and popped the trophy for it. After getting my gambling skill up and raising my bets higher and further improving my skill, I was able to access the wheel spin finally. In order to get the 1k clean, you have to put all your money on $1 and get lucky. And after a few attempts, luck did indeed happen. Now during the story, you're introduced to an NPC by the name of The Truth, who's a hippie in love with weed and drugs in general. When you buy the old airstrip in one of the asset missions for the airstrip, Black Project, The Truth tasks you with stealing a secret government experiment, which is a jetpack, from a government facility. And the trophy for the mission that I'm attempting is, they can't stop all of us. You basically have to get to the underground part of the military base without being detected by the lights above ground. Which means taking out all the guards, shooting out the correct lights, and then trying to get into the underground without being seen. Yeah, this one took quite a bit to do, but it got done eventually after like 5 years. Once I got the jetpack and flew out of there to the destination and landed like a badass, the trophy popped. With that complete, the Rhino Tank was now available, so you know what that means? Vigilante missions. However, in San Andreas, the tank is still bulletproof, but not as durable as Vice City, which is what stressed me out a bit during the run. But thankfully it wasn't too bad, and I was able to complete 12 levels of Vigilantism flawlessly, and earn the trophy for it. Following that was becoming public enemy number 1 and earning 6 wanted levels. So I just destroyed helis until I eventually got the trophy to pop. I was stressing because my tank was about to be destroyed, but it got done thankfully. This next trophy takes me back to a Liberty City state of mind. The mission sees Salvatore putting a hit on the Forellis at the St. Mark's Bistro and tasking CJ with the job. So he flies there, takes care of them for good, the flies back, and the trophy's popped. So we're coming towards the end of the game now. I'm making progress towards the Ain't Nothing But a G Thing trophy by taking over gang turfs, and with killing the gang members while trying to take over the turf and actually taking over the turf itself, you gain respect from it. This was unlocked by playing naturally. I wasn't recording at the time, but I'm glad PlayStation has a trophy recording feature, so it's not all bad. But yeah, I finally got the original gangster trophy for reaching max respect. Now we're coming to the end of the line. So in this mission, the location of Big Smoke is discovered, and since CJ and Sweet were gone, Big Smoke went crazy and became a drug lord, so we head to his location, and CJ has to fight through 3 levels of enemies to finally get to Big Smoke and then put him down for good. And then Tenpenny shows up, but who cares about that guy? Man drives off a bridge and dies. Good riddance. Then the trophy pops. With all story related trophies done, it was time to do the miscellaneous ones, and do any cleanup that was missed along the way. But of course, first course of action was continuing on with the Ain't Nothing But a G Thing trophy. So that meant I had to take over the rest of the gang turfs, which wasn't as easy as it sounds. Lots of money spent on guns, and also having to deal with previous hoods that were taken, being overtaken by rival gangs, which wasn't pretty. But once the final turf was overtaken, it was time to buy all the properties needed since I had the money needed for the trophy anyway. Chick magnets. One of the most broken and bugged trophies in the game. Usually I'm pretty blessed and lucky when it comes to bugged or broken trophies, sadly not this time around. I was not about to go do the exploits I said to do for it because I'm just not like that. I got close, but I stayed strong and kept doing research. Basically, the trophy entails you maxing a specific stat called sex appeal. And upon research, the way you raise the stat is by buying expensive clothes, tattoos, and having an expensive car like a sports car or something. But there's a known glitch or bug in the game where the stat will go to 99% and will stay at that and won't change no matter what you do. Which is unfortunately what happened to me, but thanks to this Legends video, I was able to reset the stat and get it to 100% to finally pop the trophy. Now we have a legitimate business, which is the importation and exportation of certain vehicles. At the Easter Basin docks, there's a list of each vehicle to bring to the boat. 3 different lists. Once you bring a vehicle that they need, you either lift it onto the boat by the crane or drive it up the ramp to the boat and deliver it that way. The last car I had to pick up and deliver was the BF injection from Los Santos, and once I got it delivered, the trophy popped. With 6 trophies to go, including the platinum, it was time to get a start on the I'll get 2 number 9s trophy, which is gaining max weight. In San Andreas, you can't eat more than 11 meals at once without throwing up, so the method for this was eating up to 8 meals, saving 4 times to make it 24 hours, since each save is worth 6 hours of past time. But either I did it too fast or the method is broken, because I was still throwing up trying to get to 8 like I hadn't let enough time pass or something. But after some trial and error and finally getting some food down, I was able to achieve max fats. Then the next trophy was not a player, which makes you go on a date with every potential girlfriend. There are 6 girlfriends in total, with 2 you automatically get from playing the story. Since I got lucky with Millie and didn't get dumped after the first date, there was already progress to the trophy since I needed her for price preparation. Then I took Denise out, who I met from saving her from a fire, and made progress towards the trophy too. However, with the whole girlfriends thing, each girl has a certain type they're attracted to in CJ, but the 2 storyline girlfriends don't. To avoid this certain type, you need to collect oysters, 50 of them. Probably the longest grind of the collectibles in the game. The police didn't like me collecting them either apparently, which delayed it more. But once I finally collected all 50, they were all irresistible to me, which meant I could date Helena, Katie, Michelle, and Barbara without having to worry about my physique. The trophy for the last girlfriend popped earlier than I thought it would, which made me almost not want to do it, but I just got over and done with anyway. And finally, the Remastered or 100% trophy. There is quite a bit to do to attain 100% completion of GTA San Andreas. but with completing majority of it already through trophies and playing the story naturally, I was left with a few more asset missions, street and air races, stadium events, 2 more bike challenges, a couple more vehicle missions, 2 more vehicle schools, the ammunition challenge, collectibles, which include spray tags, snapshots and tell shoes, and learning fighting moves. First order of business was getting the stadium events out of the way thanks to this video. There's a bug in San Andreas where if you leave the stadium events till last, specifically the Blood Bowl event for 100%, when you go to save, the game crashes and when you load up again, you're back at the event and it puts you in a constant loop that you can't get out of. So thankfully I wasn't too far into getting 100% and made sure to get them out of the way as soon as I was made aware of it. There's 4 stadium events total across San Andreas. Blood Bowl, Kickstart, Dirt Track, and 8 Track. All pretty straightforward events, so that was a piece of cake. Next order of business were the races. I did the street racing ones first because I'm so good at flying that I thought I'd leave it till last, you know? Some of the street races were a disaster, but some of them were pretty smooth sailing. There are 8 street races total, but 2 are done during the story already, so there's only 6 to do. After finishing the 6 street races, it was time to move on to the air races. My not so favorite thing. The flying in this game is honestly horrible. Helis and certain planes are fine, but the others are annoying to fly in my opinion. So after multiple attempts of each race, I was able to finally complete the air races. After that were the tags. There are a lot, but it helps knowing they're only in the one area, which speeds up the process a bit, even though there's 100 of them. Remember when I said earlier about the bike challenge and how I realized something? Yeah, for 100% you still have to do the BMX challenge anyway. So while I was doing the tags, I got my bike skill up so I could properly do it, and it was a lot easier than the NRG challenge, but I'm glad I was able to get both done. Then it was time for the last bike challenge, the Chiliad challenge. The Chiliad challenge consists of 3 mountain bike races down Mount Chiliad. The race starts by getting on a mountain bike on top of Mount Chiliad during a certain time of day. They weren't as easy as I thought, but was over quicker than I thought honestly. Now it's the rest of the vehicle schools. After completing flight school and driving school in story mode already, all that was left was bike school and boat school. Boat school was pretty straightforward, same as bike school. Once that was done, I decided to move on to finishing off the asset missions, or so I thought I was going to be. I started off with doing the quarry missions, you basically just cover up murders and prevent a train from being derailed. Then did the trucking missions, some of them are actually fun until one of them wasn't. After that it was the valet missions. 5 levels of parking client cars. You can kill the other valets so you get the cars to yourself, but you just get time deducted for it. Now it's on to the courier missions. I decided to start in Los Santos. Basically, you deliver items to a certain number of people. Once I completed the required levels for it, I thought that was it for the courier missions, knowing there was 2 more courier locations across San Andreas, but decided to move on to pimping. 10 levels of picking up girls and taking them to their clients, and taking out clients who beat on the girls or just refusing to pay. Then I moved on to doing the snapshots for the collectibles, 50 of them. As well as doing the horseshoes, 50 of them, with a jetpack, because I'm just cool like that. So from this point, I thought I just had the freight train, the ammunition challenge, and the learning fighting moves to go. So I decided to get the freight train stuff out of the way. It was actually a lot more fun than I expected. Then I did the ammunition challenge, which was kind of annoying at first, but did it swiftly once I got it down. And then last but not least, learning the fight moves. 1 jiu-jitsu, 1 boxing, and 1 MMA. Once I did those, I was expecting the 100% trophy to pop, but it didn't. So I was back to the drawing board to figure out what the hell I missed. Then I properly looked into the courier missions. I must have misread the guide I watched for it and went to do them in the remaining cities to see if they were the reason why. 100% baby, let's go! Thank God it wasn't bugged. Since 100% in the game, there was 1 more trophy to get before I start leveling the rest of my weapons. I wanted to do this trophy after, but got too excited I guess. Starting a new game with getting 100% on a save file. can't believe it was just the fucking Korean missions I needed. Okay, we saved. Start up a new game. Yeah. With 100% the game, I get some benefits. One of them being unlimited ammo, and since I just needed one more trophy for the platinum, which was maxing all weapon skills, it was basically up from here. But me not realizing about the unlimited ammo still bought a ton. The method I used to level up my weapon stats was having a car inside the garage at the old airstrip, and then damaging the car with the gun until it catches on fire, and running away so the door closes, and then going back to it and rinsing and repeating it. Platinum now. Yeah, there we go, baby. Yes! Oh, thank God that's done. And there you have it. The Platinum Trophies for GTA San Andreas and the GTA Trilogy overall. This was a lot of fun, I'm not gonna lie. GTA 3 we don't speak on, but the other two, not bad. If you made it this far and you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new for more content like this, and I will see you legends in the next one. Peace.